Okay, been a little crazy trying to get this all together. Ignore the bed. First of all, it's a mess. This should have started an hour ago, but I decided to fix myself up just a little bit because otherwise I would probably scare you all to death. Just kidding, but maybe. Okay. Um, this is new to me. I have never done a video like this before. I usually write, and I'm looking down. I'm sorry, I'm not used to looking directly in a camera. I'm looking at myself. If I do that and distract you, I apologize. I usually write. My Facebook is full of notes, full of things, just quotes, things the Lord just gives me, whatever. If He puts it on my heart, I usually write it down. Lately, I haven't been able to do that. Been having writer's block, and so the Lord, a few days ago, was like, I want you to start videoing, and I want you to start speaking these things, and I was like, oh my, because that scares me to death. Scares me to death. I don't meet a stranger, but for some reason, public speaking, it makes most people nervous. So it makes me nervous. But it's something I feel like He's wanting me to do, so I'm doing it. So here we go. Hopefully I won't ramble on too long. Hopefully I won't get so nervous that I make this 5 minutes and then just like, oh, okay, she's done. But anyways, moving on. I was praying and just seeking the Lord and just asking, okay, what in the world do you want me to talk about? Because I have nothing. I have nothing, literally. I'm sorry, I'm checking the date to make sure I have everything where it needs to be. But yeah, he was like, I was like, I don't know what you want me to say, God. And he was like, I just want this morning, yeah, that's how last minute this kind of is. He was like, just get your devotional out and just open it to today's date. By the way, he's calling. Yes, that's what I'm doing. So if you see me looking down at any point, I'm reading. But I thought, okay, I'll get it out and I'll just read it. And it's so funny because what today is on is something that I have struggled with so much, especially lately because I'm 24, I'll be 25 next month. Wow. And I'm still just trying to figure out what to do with my life. I don't really have anything. I'm looking for a job right now. Haven't found anything yet, but I've been applying, just doing that and just seeking the Lord as to what He wants me to do and all these different things. You know how it goes. If you're in that same boat, you understand. And I keep looking down. I'm sorry. I keep looking at myself. But I just want to read this to you guys, and I just hope something that I say touches you, and I hope you grasp onto something. This is not for me. I don't want to gain anything from this. I just, the vessel the Lord decided He wanted to use. So, here we go. Okay. And I hope you can hear me. I hope the volume is good and the picture is okay. Alright. Here we go. Today is January the 9th, 2014. Maybe the last year ago. Okay, it says, I am with you and for you. It's a big thing in and of itself to realize that He is for us. Okay, it says, when you decide on a course of action that is in line with my will, nothing in heaven or on earth can stop you. You may encounter many obstacles as you move towards your goal. Can't read. But don't be discouraged. Never give up. Never give up. With my help, you can overcome any obstacle. Do not expect an easy path as you journey hand in hand with me, but do remember that I, your very present help, am omnipotent. Much stress results from your wanting to make things happen before their times have come. One of the many ways I assert my sovereignty is in the timing of events. If you want to stay close to me and do things my way, ask me to show you the path forward moment by moment. And, sorry. Instead of dashing headlong toward your goal, let me set the pace. Slow down and enjoy the journey in my presence. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to stick this on my desk. I'm sitting at the desk, by the way, for the shelf. Yeah. That's kind of how I've lived my life, especially because a lot of things are so much more difficult for me and have been much more difficult for me to grasp and just get, simply because, I am in a wheelchair. For those who do not know, yes, I have been in a wheelchair my entire life, so it makes things harder for me. It makes things growing up, it makes things more difficult in some aspects, like driving, for example. I'm 24, be 25 next month, and I got my license last December. Only had it for a year. I fought and fought, and I hated it. I hated it because I have two sisters. I have a twin and a younger sister. They both got their licenses when they were 16, and I was just like, why can't I do that? Like, I could have, but the Lord, over time, He let me realize, okay, you weren't ready then, but there was a purpose to the waiting. There was a purpose to the waiting. It's because I wasn't ready, and it's because He was along the way teaching me that, hey, you know what? It may take you longer, but that's okay, because it's my timing, not yours. And that's something I've had to just come to terms with, and I've struggled with it just because, once again, things that other people seem to get so easily didn't come so easy for me. And it was really, really, really hard, and I really struggled with it. But that's okay. It's okay, because eventually the Lord was like, just hang on. Just hang on. Do what I've called you to do, and I'm going to give you these things. So, it's just, if you're in that boat, basically just don't be discouraged. It's okay. It's okay to get discouraged. It's okay to want these things. And it's okay to ask God why. It is. It's okay. And I know that sounds weird, and you probably feel like the worst person sometimes, asking Him, why can't I have this? Why is this taking so long? Why am I hearing no all the time? Because I asked that, and I still ask that all the time. And some days I feel really bad for asking that, because the Lord's like, He's not the one He is the one telling me no right now. But that's okay. It's okay. It's in His timing. It's in His plan. There's purpose for it. There's purpose. Just realize it's in His will, in His plan. And one thing I've learned throughout time is just don't stop. Don't stop. Don't worry. Never doubt. Never doubt Him. That's the biggest thing for me, is just fear and doubt and uncertainty, and just not feeling like I amount to anything, because these things were so hard for me, and because they didn't happen when I wanted them to. I've struggled with that not my entire life. For the past few years, I have just struggled with not feeling like I was worth anything, just because I wasn't getting what I wanted when I wanted it, and I didn't understand why. I just didn't understand it. Okay, just a couple verses I want to read to you guys. There's key verses through all of these little things. See if you can see down at the bottom. Yeah, what I want to read to you guys. Okay. I'm my feet keep falling off my footrest. Sorry. So, I have to adjust. Alright. Romans 8:31. Okay. Says, what, everybody should know this. What then are we to say about these things? If God is for us, who can be against us? Okay. When heard that verse over and over again, our entire lives, we should know this verse. And if you don't know this verse, now you do. But really, honestly, it's one of those things you have to know, you have to understand, God's on your side. No matter what, He's on your side. He's not going to stop. He's not going to leave you. He has not abandoned you. Yeah, it may feel like He's not there. It's, nothing's going right in your life. He's just not there. Let me correct that right now. Yes, He is. Yes, He is. But He's wanting me to go through these tests for a reason. I have so many things in my life that have just been so difficult for me. And just from personal issues to health issues, I can't tell you how many times I've been in the hospital, just from sicknesses. I'll get into more explaining who I am, and I'll give you all of that later on, maybe later time. Anyway, but just growing up, I had a lot of health issues. I've been in and out of the hospital, did fine for years and years and years. In 2009, I got really sick, had 3 surgeries in a month, and I just didn't understand why suddenly everything kind of broke loose and kind of went nuts. There was just a testing season. The Lord, I didn't realize at the time, the Lord was really, really, really growing me and really wanting me to trust Him. And that's a big issue I have. Just with a lot of things that's gone on in my life. Just trust. I don't trust easily. And I know that for some of you who know me, that may seem odd. And it may seem unreal. But I have so many trust issues. And I'm working on it. The Lord is working in me with that. Because it's just been broken, time and time again with whatever, through various situations in my life. But it's through those times where He was like, I'm building your faith and I'm building your trust. And He really did. And He really was. And it's, things have been tough since then. Things have happened, kind of been that trust. But I always revert back to the Lord. I always realize that He's there. No matter what. If nobody else is there, I know He's the one person, it's the one thing I can cling to. It's just knowing that He's there. And that He's willing to listen to me. I can whine and cry and, talk to the Lord, ask Him questions so I don't understand. And He's willing to listen to me. And He always gives me, there's always something that He's going to give me to help me through. Okay. I have a couple more verses, so yeah. Psalm 46, 1 through 3 is the next one. Okay. It says, if I'm babbling, I apologize. I'm sorry. But it says, God is our refuge and strength, a helper who is always found in times of trouble. Therefore we will not be afraid, though the earth trembles and the mountains topple into the depths of the seas. Though its waters roar and foam and the mountains quake with its turmoil. Okay. Going back to what I just said. You're going to have issues. You're going to struggle. I'm sorry. I'm looking down at my Bible to find the next verse. You're going to have times of trouble and it's going to be hard sometimes. It's life. Everyday life. It's hard. You don't enjoy it all the time. But just remember But the Lord has that happen. The Lord plans it out that way for a reason. He doesn't always stop the troubles. He doesn't always stop the hard times. He allows them to happen for a reason. And most of the time it's to teach us something, and or to for us to realize, okay, I went through that, but God was still there. He didn't let me crumble. He didn't let me just absolutely fall apart. And there's times where he may do that. He's done it for me. Plenty of times where it's come to that point where I had just been absolutely done, to where I had nothing and nobody to turn to, that I could turn to, that would understand except for him. You have to get to that point sometimes. You have to get to that point to realize that he's the only person, one that you can turn to sometimes. He has to be your number one. He has to be that person that you say, okay, God, I can't do this on my own. You have to help me. I've been there, God, so many times where no earthly person could do anything to help me, and I had no choice but to turn to God and to realize that he was the only one that could get me through this. And sometimes he'll put other people in your path. Different situations call for different help, different things, different ways to help you, different ways to vent and get out of it. Sometimes he'll let another person step in and help you. Sometimes he will make you get to that point where you have nothing and no one else can help you but him, and you have no choice but to turn to him. It's hard. It's a struggle, but you know what? It's worth it. And I've seen that so many times, just knowing how hard I've fought for a lot of things, and knowing and seeing the rewards he's given me through those things. He will reward you. That's the thing. If you're diligent, and if you seek him, and if you're honest with him, and you just you tell him, okay, God, I can't do this without you. That's what he wants. I think that honestly, sometimes that's what he wants for us to tell him, I need you. I need your help. I have to have you. We have to get to that point sometimes where we're just like, I have to have you, or I'm gonna lose it. Like, I'm gonna fall apart. Like, you have to help me. Okay. One last verse. Luke 1:27. No, 37. I'm sorry. Luke 1:37 says, okay, just simply says, for nothing will be impossible with God. It's impossible for us. Okay, God, it's impossible for us to do this on our own. Like I said just a minute ago, we have to get to that point sometimes where we're just like, God, I need you. I can't do this on my own. I need your help. You have to help me or I will lose it. It's impossible for us to do it by ourselves. But guess what? We have a God who is so much bigger than all of our problems, so much bigger than trials we face, and who wants to help us. But he wants to know that we want him to. He wants us to want him as much as he wants us, if that makes sense. Okay. So, just remember, you're going to struggle and you're going to fail. You will fail. That's okay. That's okay, as long as you get up and keep going. And realize that you can't do it by yourself. You can't always do it by yourself. Well, you can never do it by yourself. You always have to have him. You always have to know that he's there. If nobody else is there, and I know that's a really hard thing to grasp sometimes, because a lot of us have had no one, our entire lives. So how in the world are we supposed to know that God's going to be there it just goes back to trust. And that's a big thing I know for my life. It's just trusting because it's been broken so much. But it didn't work. You have, please get into this every day. Every day, study this and get to know the Lord. Like, really get to know who He is, get to know His heart and what He wants. What He wants is to be with you, is to be with us. What He wants is for us to be with Him. He desires to be with us, but He wants us to desire Him. So just trust that you can make it. You know, you can do this. There's going to be hard times. There's going to be trials. You're going to struggle. But just know that the fight's worth it. You know, it's always worth it. It may seem far beyond that in the middle of it, but I promise you, if you keep your eyes on the Lord and you just keep focused and keep running towards Him, no matter where He leads you, I'm in the middle of, right now, kind of in a wilderness place right now, and that's okay because He's teaching me so much. I've learned so much just in the past few months of just being in a wilderness place and just walking with Him, going wherever He's calling me to go, which I don't know where that is right now, and that's fine. It scares me, but it's fine. He's building my trust. That's exactly what He's doing. He's building my trust. So let Him lead you. You may not like where it's going. You may not have a clue where you're at right now. That's okay. Because as long as you're letting Him guide your steps, He will never lead you in the wrong direction. You can't do this by yourself. You can't. You don't want to. You don't want to do it by yourself. So just know you're worth it. Know you have Him on your side. And know that He has your future and your best interest in mind. And He's never going to leave you. He's got you no matter what. So, that's it for today. I don't know how often this will be. I don't know if it will be daily, weekly, just when the Lord leads. To live to God. But I'm just here for Him to use. I pray somebody gets something out of this. I pray that it touches you. I pray the Lord just reveals Himself to you in this. And I pray that you realize who you are and realize your worth and realize that it's okay to be afraid. It's okay to struggle, but don't stay there. You know, don't stay in that fear of I'm never gonna amount to anything. Life's never gonna get better. It will. Yes, it will. As long as you keep your eyes on the Lord and as long as you keep running with Him, towards Him and with Him, you can't get wrong. Okay. So, until next time, peace out. I love you guys. And yeah, I will see you later.